All aboard! Well, hello, and welcome to this edition of Shaky Hand Sheds, where I'm going to be doing another Lady Dianna Spencer, but this time it's of the lima variety. I've already done the harm bit, and all I can say is I'm avoiding tunnels on my layout. That's all I'll say on that matter. But anyway, here we go. Here's where we're starting off. It's in nice condition, really. I noticed afterwards there was a couple of paint touch-ups I could do, but it's not a lot. They were factory errors anyway, not scratches or blemishes. You can see where they've overrun with the silver there. Bit clumsy, but there we go. It's a factory job. Anyway, first of all, we test it for working, and it's a good little runner, but it's gonna get a bit of a service. Then it's ready for when I'm putting up the layout, because this one, it's quite a bit after the era I'll be modelling, but it'll fit in, you know, like. It's still got the British Railways there and back icon on it. Whatever the real name is for it, I don't know. Very similar idea to what Dutch Railways use. And here I'm taking the body off on these lemurs. You take the buffers off first, you pull them out. Then the body just pops off. And here we're going to be sorting a common problem on the old lemurs. The chassis swelled a bit and it locks up the bogie. And it's probably why the owner sold it, to be honest, because it weren't running right. We're just taking the bogie frames off. And then you can pop the motor unit out from the top. As you can see, a traction tyre dropped off. I didn't replace the traction tyres on video, because I sent off from off eBay. And I end up putting them on later off the video. But there, we're just filing bits off the post there first on the motor bogie, and then we're taking it off the chassis here, just filing it off, because it swells quite considerably, really. You wouldn't think it would, but there, it's loosened up now a lot nicer. So in effect it's just taking little bits and bobs off, but in effect it's job done. You don't want to overdo it now you're here, otherwise you have the possibility of the bogie dropping out. Well, the motor unit dropping out. You still need that sort of shelf left on, if you understand me meaning. And there I'm popping an old traction tyre back on it. It doesn't keep it though, it's a bit loose, so all we need to know is it's got new ones on now. And what I'm doing here, I'm popping up the carbon brushes springs, and I've stripped the motor out here. I've taken the armature out, and at this point I'm polishing it with silver water salt to remove the muck and give it a polish. Works wonders, I rate it as just about the best metal polish. Over the years I've tried many metal polishes, and I keep returning to it. It's a quality polish, and for not a lot of money. You can pay more and get worse. And here we go. Just give it a quick polish. And it's a lot better than what... It weren't too bad to begin with, but it's took most of the muck off and give it a polished surface. So there you are, it's better. Putting it back in there, and we put in a very, very minute dot of oil. You don't want it flinging off onto the polished surface. I'm taking some of it off there, because you only need the sparingest amount. Need very little, and I screw the two cases back together here. Just flipping that under the wheel there. And there we go. Pull the screws in. Screw it back together. And the contacts got pushed down there, so what I'm doing here, I'm dropping the carbon brushes back in. You can just see them there, the heads of the carbon brushes. Put the springs in, then hold them forward and bring the actual contacts down, and ta-da, she's on. Made it look simpler than it actually is there. I probably had about 30 takes to get it. And it's just push it, and then push it down and nudging it up a bit from the back so it lays down flattish. And then just give your screws a final little tighten. And Bob's your auntie, Fanny's your uncle, and all that stuff. Modern days, ding dong. And here we go, putting the bogie frame back on. Just screwed into position, and here we go. When I get the screwdriver head on, whoa there, tiger. Like a bloody goldfish out of the bowl. There we are. Brace myself up, we're a bit better. Here we go. Do it again. I don't learn from first attempt. There we go. Lose the bit in the bloody chassis. Fantastic. There we go. Last bits of tightening. One of them didn't actually tighten that well. It were, I think somebody had cross-threaded it in first place, but it was tight enough to hold it. Anyway, here the wire come disconnected, so I'm re-soldering it back on. It had worn a bit threadbare, and I think there were only one thread of wire holding it on. And at this point, we put in a little bit of, I'm using car grease. It's good enough, and I had it for the motorcycle. Being careful you don't put too much on. I wipe most of that off. And here we're just testing the motor. Running it up. And one thing you do notice, the motor's tone changes as it beds in again. And it might not run perfectly at first, but as it runs and beds in again, it starts running smoother. And here, we're dropping the body back on. And it's just a reverse of what we did in first place. Drop it back on and insert the buffers back in. It's all simple stuff. Here we go, buffers going back in. Oh, simple stuff. There we go. And here we are giving it a test run. The light's working there, but the LED popped while I was servicing it, so I'm not really that bothered because I'm thinking of getting DCC sound and lights for it. I'm going to hardwire it in myself, so it's not a real big issue. It popped that LED. It was only the one somebody put in. Along with a driver, somebody put in a driver. I'm sure they didn't come from Lima. But yeah, it's a sweet runner now. Be even sweeter on a layout. And some of these I may well cut the front couplings off and put all the gear on the front like vacuum hoses and stuff. And it's a good looker. Quite enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you for watching. And tatty pie, everybody. Tatty pie.